Well, hello and welcome. In this video we're going to have a look at the Sony fx-412 EP. It is a television, radio and a cassette player. I've had this knocking about for a while, but I've only just got hold of this, which is its power supply. 12 volts, just under an amp. So it does click onto the side, but for now I'm going to plug it in carefully, very carefully. I'll be back. Okay, straight away we've got life out of the telly, which I'm kind of amazed by.
About start waking up on it.
Well,
so we're going to play
straight up. We get something on the FM band.
With full credit to them, and one tiny parts from the conflict, like C20 World Cup.
That's Talk Sport.
To me, but it was just such a telegraph pass. Hammett took it really well.
And of course, FM. There's many things on FM. Let's have a look at the cassette player, see what that does. Unsurprisingly. Oh wow, the cassette player's just come to life. Ish. I'm going to say it's potentially a belt issue there. Everything kind of works, apart from the TV tuner that doesn't move when you turn the dial. So, okay, it's metal. I won't want to put batteries in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 6 D cells. You need a mortgage just to put batteries in this thing. Okay, let's go at the screws. I was trying to use the magnet on it to see if it would magnetise anything else. Not entirely sure how this is going to come apart. It's missing screws, concerningly. And honestly, that does always. Okay, so when I'm moving this here, I can see these knobs on the side are moving. So I think what we need to do is remove them. So we can see we've got the TV tuning and the radio tuning. And a cup of tea, very important. Okay. They're coming off easy enough. Top and bottom come apart. Right, let's put this back the other way round. I'm half expecting some screws. 3 so far. put them over there with that. Well, hey, well, how about that? I was kind of expecting there to be some sort of plug and socket between the two halves so I could have separated them, but there's not. So obviously that's the cassette back deck. There's a lot of belts in that cassette deck. This is the one tuner that's not tuning. This is the tuner that is tuning. So the one that's not tuning turns this here. So is the mechanism itself jammed, which is this here in the middle. I'm not sure. That's got movement in it, which is that. And the mechanism here kind of moves, but it's very, very tight. Oh, there we go, look, it's moving. Oh, there we go, look, we win. So there's the TV tuner. It had just stuck from being left. Let's put the power back into it. And go down this. I mean, there's absolutely nothing on analog television anymore in the UK. And of course VHF, that was used in the States. But what we can do in a while is we can offer, I should be able to inject a TV signal into this because I've got a small board that will allow me to do so. Okay, let's have a look at this here cassette deck and see what's going on with this. Belts everywhere in it. Along with some sort of mechanism that I'm not sure what that is doing. Really don't know what that does. Well, I'm just slightly dubious. Oh, it's the electric motor, it's the motor. So on the side here is the motor. You can just see down there the pulley and the end of the motor's there. The motor's facing this way. That would mean that this board is the motor speed control, and that's all been screened off from the main audio board. That's insane. All said and done, all things considered, this cassette deck's insane for what is I don't know. Is this a high-end piece of equipment? I just don't know. But it's absolutely crazy. Maybe the cassette deck in this is reasonably good quality. think what's going to make some sense is just get rid of that dust out of there. And let's have a little look, see what's going on with this cassette deck. So we get play. We're not getting fast forward or rewind. So let's have a look from underneath now that we can have some power to it. So when we're pressing play, there. Sorry. Let's put it into play. So we can see the motor is driving. That belt's got a good grip. Now I think looking at this, that belt that I'm stopping there, that appears to be the main sort of drive belt from the motor. What I'm just going to have a look at is if I stop that, no, the motor's not stopping, and there's a lot of slack on this here, but oh Christ, that's ridiculous. I'm going to just move you. So you can see in there the main drive belt, and there's a lot of play in it. I mean, a lot. So you see there, what this is doing then is all that slack. As soon as you're trying to get the extra demand to fast forward and rewind, it's just not got the strength. So I think I need to try and work out how to take this apart, and we fit a belt in this. That belt under this mechanism. Now, to me, this board's got to come off. This metal cage is soldered to the motor. This wiring here is soldered to the motor. If I take the motor out, the belt will not be attached to the motor anymore. So I can't do that because that will end up with the motor being separate from the belt, and that means I can't put a belt back on it. So I think the top and bottom is I'm going to need to unsolder 1, 2, 3, 4 to then release this board, which should then hopefully let me be able to see what's under there on the next level. It's quite a complex tape deck, this is, in all honesty, for what's in a television radio cassette, which normally these things are not particularly high quality, but the actual sound quality of this is quite impressive. I'm quite impressed by it. So let me get a soldering iron, and we'll try and take this off. Here we go then. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how we get on with this. I'm going to try first of all with a pump action desoldering tool. Okay, that wasn't quite as bad as I thought it might be. Oh, you swine. So we get on with this one. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm just going to have a tidy it with a bit of braid. Just want to make sure everything is fully disconnected, because I would like this to still work out when we put it back together. Well, at least have a chance of working. Wow. There you can see the end, you can see the drive of the motor. They really didn't want any noise from this motor mechanism getting into anything. Thank you. But you can see at the end of this belt how much slack's in it. I'm going to reorientate because at the moment I'm a little bit awkward as to what I can get into on it. Right, so we can see the belt path is coming along here underneath this belt and going around the bottom here. So I think my gut feeling is this cover needs to come off and we need some really small crosshead screwdrivers. One. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these by the side of the machine in the order and the position that they've come off from. Just to try and give me the best opportunity to get these back in the right order. Okay. There's our belt. That is complex, man. So this belt here is a bit slack. I'll try and find a smaller one for that. I've got quite a good selection of belts. Now, I've just looked at the drawer where they're in and realised that I put the tripod for the camera blocking the drawer. So, I'll be back. There's a lot of quite delicate looking stuff in here. And it kind of makes you go, where do I start? Because by the looks of it, this is fed under here. Now that does move. The mechanism there move. That moves. Okay, so we can take this belt off here. Now I think if I go anywhere with this, I'm just going to document the belt paths. So I figured out that that moves and that this metal one here moves, so we can get that underneath there. Okay. The capstan lifts up. So does this pulley here, and that pulley there is just for it to run off. So we need to set this little belt off here that goes up the back. While I'm at it, and take this belt off the bottom here, because to be fair, they're all like they're all solid, the belts are, and that's that. So wow, look at the shape of that belt. Let me find some belts. So it turns out I don't have any suitable belts. So what I'm going to need to do is either get a belt kit for this or get a sort of pack of universal belts. So I'm going to put the screws, etc. into a bag, and by the magic of editing, I'll be back with the parts. See what happens. Well, somehow I've done something wrong, because the cassette deck is now going backwards. I'm not entirely sure what I've done to do that. There must be, on that main drive belt, it must need some sort of that the top and bottom are backwards on it. That's the only thing I can think of that would cause that, so let's go and have a look at that. So, to get to that board's got to come back off. So, the only thing I can think of is that when I put the belt on for the main drive, is that what's at the top and what's at the bottom are the opposite way round, which is causing it to go backwards. So we'll unsolder this, take it back apart, and swap the belt direction out. That's quite an interesting fault to come across. I'm not too worried if I don't get all of the solder off this time, because the solder's all fresh, but I do want it disconnected. It appears to be grabbed here, so we'll just give that a little heat. There we go, look. And off we come. Okay, let's have a look down in there. Let's get you down there. Right, when I look at that, I can actually see that the two bits of the belt are the opposite way round to what I like them. eBay's just delivered. So let's just swap them over, top and bottom, and hopefully I can hook this back on to here. Without having to take apart the entire machine again. I don't know, I've either totally messed that up or fixed it. I think the belt's off the back one. I've got to take all this back apart again and feed that belt back in. Okay, so now I've got the top of the belt going to the little wheel first, then the big wheel, and then the bottom of the belt going that, and that is actually sitting and looking really nice. There's no twist or anything in it like there was before, so hopefully I've got that right now. So I'll put the cover back on and solder that back in place, and we'll give it a go. I'll be back. Right, let's solder this back into place. Not entirely sure why the motor's got 3 wires to it, but it has. And a screen that I forgot to solder on last time. Let's try again. Attempt number 2. The cassette deck's going the correct way this time, so hopefully we've got a chance of it actually playing the tape. Also, that horrible noise has gone away that it was making.
YouTube safe audio test that master.
Okay. There we go. That is that cassette deck back to life. I'm just going to grab some pre-recorded material because that sounds a little quiet. So the final couple of things to do with this are we'll give it a bit of a clean over, and I want to try and find a suitable aerial for it. And obviously I need to put the screws back in and just line it up at the back there, which I'll do now. This little holder that holds the earpiece, I think, is in there. There we go, look. That's gone back together. So I'll pop some screws in that, and we'll give it a little clean over, give the knobs a clean, and I'll come back in a few minutes. Well, there we go. That's all working. Television works on it, radio works on it, the cassette player works on it, and you know, the sound off it's not bad at all. I'm quite impressed by it. So there we go. Please have hit the subscribe and the bell, etc., and have a look at some of the other stuff we've made. Thank you. Bye bye.